Time travel is a complicated concept to tackle. It's filled with a lot of what-ifs and situations that don't always go as planned. Changing fate is risky business, but what if it's for the greater good? Is it a selfish act to want to change the past? Yeah, mostly. But most of the time our characters do it anyway, for good reasons or at least something that is deemed right. But the consequence of that is always the butterfly effect. Why am I talking all this time travel mumbo jumbo? Sonic CD. Yes, this is a Sonic video. You see, I was always a big fan of Sonic. He was the cooler looking mascot to me. Even though his conception was just for pure capital competition for the video game market at the time. Sonic was advertised as the confident speedster that was faster than the competition. Plus his design was very simple and cute. I mean, look at that. That doesn't put a smile on your face? I wanted to be just like Sonic. I even went out of my way to eat chili dogs, even though I never liked hot dogs. I did it because Sonic was cool, and I wanted to be cool like him. But after numerous entries over the years, the Hedgehog has lost his flair with several failed entries with some amazing ones here and there. Sonic just wasn't doing it for me anymore. But that was until the 2 new Sonic projects were shown during the Sonic Anniversary stream. Despite most of the stream being 2 drunk out-of-touch dads performing classic 3D Sonic tracks, the games shown were impressive. Sonic Mania looks very promising, and then I realized I never actually played Sonic CD. Therefore, I decided to buckle down and go back in time to experience this time-traveling gem. Sonic CD was in development the same time the sequel to Sonic was being made. They turned out to be very different projects, and I love Sonic the Hedgehog too. The set pieces were beautiful, the music had a bouncy groove to them, and the levels had some very unique assets. But it's better late than never, right? Sonic CD stays very true to the 2D formula but adds its own flair to originality. And the mobile and PC port really let you have the full Sonic experience. Christian Whitehead, an independent game developer, made an engine from scratch named the Retro Engine. Sega ended up officially releasing his port after he made a video pitch of it running on his iPhone. How cool is that? He's even leading the project of Sonic Mania. This particular port lets players play Sonic the way it was meant to be enjoyed. Lagless. The game's mechanics are laid out and simple. You're given 2 ways to dash now, but I'm not sure if that's just a port feature though. You got the regular spin dash we know and love, and then we got this new stand-up running in place as charge that honestly looks better and is faster. The game's about speed, but this time around platforming is way more apparent. It doesn't feel half-assed either, and I think it's designed this way because of the game's core mechanic, time travel. Each zone has past and future signs that you activate by passing through them. To actually go back in time, you gotta go fast. Really fast. Close. Almost. Faster! Now this is probably the most interesting feature in the 2D Sonic game. Not only does it switch out the layout, but you get re-renditions of the level's tracks. Going to the past gets you a stripped version of the song with less instrumentation. They're usually the chiller tracks, while going to the future can give you 2 different songs depending on what you do in the past. Each zone is layered and extremely vibrant. The color palette is just supreme. Just get a look at these zones. Now, as I said before, the future is the only one with 2 variants. This is where the game gets a little dark with its narrative. Going to the bad future, you're presented with this cyberpunk-esque dystopia where Robotnik finally went and did it. Seeing the wildlife industrialized is sort of jarring and terrifying. This is what Robotnik can do if there isn't anyone there to stop him. It's a lonely dystopia filled with metal facilities and man-made creatures. I'm not really sure if this would even satisfy Robotnik himself to indulge in this solitude. But you can change that. Getting the good future is simple but easier said than done. Going back to the past, you can find these robot generators and destroying them will save the zone from a horrible, lifeless future. You're not that lethargic, are you? You shouldn't beat yourself up if you don't get the good ending your first time through. This game has replay value, and getting the good ending will require you to either destroy all the robot generators. Mind you, it's kind of hard to find a good place to rev up your blue legs and go to the past, or you can get the time stones. Time stones are basically Sonic CD's version of Chaos Emeralds, and to collect them you must acquire 50 rings and pass gold to go into the special stages. I don't really understand the special stages. You have to get a certain amount of UFOs to get a stone, but each stage you pass, the less time you get on the next. I kept running into a problem where I'd have some time left on my hand and the stage would just end abruptly. It halted me from getting the time stones and it was kind of a letdown. Meanwhile, the characters are introduced through the level instead of a cutscene, which is pretty neat. This is Amy and Metal Sonic's first appearance in the Sonic universe. As a subplot, Amy is the damsel in distress half the game, constantly taken by Robotnik. The player has to have some sort of other drive to save the world, right? You know what else you can save? The game. You get a checkpoint every zone, so if you get a game over, you can start where you left off, reducing irritable replay and starting all the way from the beginning. Bosses are neato as well, but aren't challenging enough to be too memorable. Well, except the race of Metal Sonic. That was a blood-pumping test meshed with one of the best tracks of the game. The stereo was set to 11. It is refreshing to say at least to play a Sonic game that is just this good, which just pumped me up for the upcoming Mania title that will actually go back to its roots that Sonic 4 tried so desperately to do and failed. Sonic CD is a historical artifact that was molded with love and passion, and I hope Sega can pour that dynamite passion into future Hedgehog entries.
Please subscribe to Ken Network or I will die!